Good morning. It's 11:44, so I guess it's still morning. So today is the first day of the Tome Topples Readathon, and I remembered that I did not film a TBR for this Readathon, unfortunately, because I just didn't have the time. College just been a little bit too hectic for me, so I guess I'll take the opportunity, since it's the first day of the Readathon, to mention the books that I'm planning on reading, because I don't currently have them with me. So I will only be able to participate in three of the challenges that Sam had set up for the readathon. And the books that I will be reading will be, the first one is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I just finished The Final Empire and I enjoyed that book completely. I thought the characters were funny and unique. I enjoyed the bickering that went on between them. I thought that the plot was very interesting. It did follow just like the normal narrative of like a heist and a band of thieves. And technically they're doing something to gain something personal out of it, but they're saving the world indirectly. So it followed that narrative, but I like the fact that it had the political twist to it, so you did see a lot of just the political aspect of the book. You could see a lot of that, and you could see both sides, the sides of the ska and the side of the nobility. So I thought that was very enjoyable, and I am very much looking forward to reading the next installment in the Mistborn trilogy, The Well of Ascension. And the second book that I will be reading is Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Marie. I forgot the name of the second author. I'll probably input it somewhere in the screen because I'm an idiot and I forgot. About Illuminae, I actually don't know much. I am aware that it has something to do with romance, something to do with like a population having to leave its planet, and then something that happens while they're leaving, while they're escaping and they're on the ship. Something's going to happen. I am not aware as to what. I'm really going into Illuminae very blind. I'm also aware that it is written very, very different. Like it has a very unique style of writing. So I'm really looking forward to experiencing Illuminae. And as for the rest of the readathon, I plan and I hope to be able to make short little vlogs like this where I just give my updates on where my current reading is at, so that you guys can, follow along. And obviously I'll chop them up together and put them in a video at the end of the readathon. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it. I don't know if I'm able to get much reading done this weekend, just because I have 2 exams on Monday. 2 very, very important exams. So hopefully my goal is to get at least 200 pages of The Final Empire read this weekend, so that Thanksgiving weekend I can finish The Final Empire and conquer Illuminae. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to check in with you guys this evening and give you guys how much pages I've read and what my current experience has been like. So, see you guys in a few. Good morning. It is currently day 2 of the Tome Topples Readathon, and yes, I am aware that I did not record a little update last night. Unfortunately, I just passed out as soon as I got comfy. I was extremely, extremely tired. So as soon as I got comfy, bam, I was out of it. But I did manage to read. I'm currently on page 54 of The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. So far, so good. I'm actually intrigued that there is consequences to what went down in the first book, and I can see the clear difference between YA and adult. Because to me, in YA, the actions that happened in the first book, there wouldn't be any direct consequences. In the second book would have probably been like happy moments for half of it, and then towards the middle or towards the end we would have had like a serious issue, and then that would have justified a third book. But here, as soon as like page 1 of The Well of Ascension, you can see that there are serious repercussions and negativity as to what happened in the events that transpired in the first book. So I'm really looking forward to it. There's essentially pretty much like a civil war going on, and that is extremely, extremely interesting. I'm curious to see how Vin and Elend will how their characters will develop and how they will be able to tackle what's currently going on. I'm also curious to see what's going to happen with Sage. But yeah, those are my preliminary thoughts. It's still too premature to say if I am loving it or not, but so far I am enjoying it. And yeah, see you guys in the next checkup. Good morning. I apologize for the lighting. Today's a rainy day, so that's why my face is just partially in the shadows. Today is the 4th day in the Tome Topples Readathon. I did not record any little updates yesterday, just because yesterday I didn't have that much time to read because I was stressed out over 2 exams that I had today. I already took them, so hopefully it came out alright. I'll probably tell you guys later in the readathon how that turned out. As for how much I read, well, I just finished the entire first part of The Well of Ascension. I do have to say that it is moving a little bit slower than the pace that the Final Empire had during those first couple of chapters, but it's still very enjoyable. I can already see that this book is going to be a lot more politically driven than the first Final Empire book, which was already pretty political driven. I am just curious to see how the plot is going to progress because I actually don't know, okay? Like, what is currently outside of the Luthadel walls is just extremely concerning for what our heroes, for what our protagonists and our group of protagonists is going to face. So I'm very, very concerned. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I think that's really, really good. So yeah, so far I just have a lot of questions that as I read, hopefully I will get answered. So that's all on my end for now. I guess I'll see you guys in the next little update. So, bye. Good morning. Today is actually day 6th of the Tome Topples Readathon, and I decided to not record any little update yesterday just because I didn't have the time and I really didn't make that much progress. So it wouldn't make sense to just make an update for like, oh, I read 20 more pages. Anywho, update on my life-wise, I just got back my grade from one of the 2 exams that I mentioned last time. My grade from the political science exam that I took, and it was actually a lot better than I was expecting, and that's really good. So currently, I guess I am just waiting for my grade in the chemistry exam, so we'll see how that one goes. As for my reading, I actually am currently almost at page 225. I'm like 2 pages away from 225. Ideally, I'm not where I would like to be because it's almost a week since the readathon started and I'm not even halfway there. So ideally, I should be finishing the first book by this point in time, but I haven't had the time. And when I do find the time, I'm just so tired that I can't pick up the book. On the upside, the next couple of days, I don't have class, and because it's Thanksgiving, obviously, and I have the time to sit down and read, so hopefully I'll be making a lot of progress then. As to what I can say about what I have read so far, Brandon Sanderson continues to amaze me at how he hides certain details about the plot or about his characters, and then reveals them in like really important moments, or reveals them when you least expect them to be, when you least expect those like details to be revealed, he reveals them. And it continues to amaze me. Like I've said, like to me his plots are just so well developed, and just the revelation that just unfolded around those 225 pages again just further proves how he woves his plots together, and it just ends up making so much sense at the end. So yeah, I guess that's all I can say for my little update. That's all that I can say for now. So I guess I'll see you guys next time that I update. So, peace. Good evening. It is currently 9:45 on November 24th, the 7th day of the readathon. First of all, I hope that you guys had an enjoyable Thanksgiving with all of your loved ones. And as always, to remember that giving thanks is something that should be done year-round and not just once every year. And as for the chemistry grade that I had mentioned last time, well, I think what's important is that we're all alive and that we're healthy. I think that's important. God, it wasn't that bad, okay? Like, maybe I could have wanted something better, but it wasn't that bad. I've not assumed, at this point I know that chemistry is not my strong suit. At this point, me and chemistry are just like on two totally different spectrums. Reading-wise, I actually have made a lot of progress. Last time I checked in, I believe I was around page 220-something. Around there was where I was at. Currently, I am at page 473, so I've made a lot of progress, thankfully, because I've had the time to read. What can I say about it? I have found it enjoyable, a little bit tedious, because it has been moving just a little bit slow for me, but I have been enjoying it. As for the rest of my comments, they are going to be spoilery, so if you have not read The Well of Ascension and you are interested in reading, then I suggest that you skip to this timestamp in the video, which is when I stopped discussing all the spoilery things. So for those of you who don't want any spoilers, see you in the next checkup. And if you stick around, then you're curious as to what my spoilery discussions or what my spoilery comments have to say. So far I do have to admit that the book has dragged on just a little bit for me, and that has to be due to the plot. And you see, the difference between the Final Empire and this book was that in the Final Empire there was politics, but there was also, you know, the action-packed scenes with Kelsier. Here, unfortunately, for reasons that we already know, we don't have Kelsier. Dear. So it's all just politics-based, and politics-based means that it's going to be a lot of talky-talky and not a lot of action. And I have enjoyed it, because, then again, I studied political science, so I'd find that enjoyable, but I can understand somebody else that does not like court politics as much wanting to put the book down because of the fact that it has been dragging on, because trust me, it has been dragging on just slightly. As what I can say about what has happened, frankly, I do enjoy the Tyndall character. I think that she has made an impact, and she has changed Ellen for the greater, you know, shaping him to become a great leader. I have enjoyed just seeing the cast back together, the characters back together, seeing their interactions. I have enjoyed that as well. I've also enjoyed that Sanderson hasn't, he hasn't fallen into the cliches of YA, at least yet for me. A perfect example of that is what went down with Ellen and him losing his throne because of one of the clauses in the law, and then him having to fight his throne, and even after fighting it, and even after having to give arguments, he still didn't win his throne back. Which I'm sure if this would have been a YA book, there would have probably been a victory. He would have probably gotten his throne back, but seeing as though this is aimed at a different audience and it's written differently, that's why we didn't get you know, the Ellen victory, and I'm interested in seeing how that's going to affect the story. So far, I haven't been able to guess what's going to happen, and that's good. Like I said last time, that's good, because I haven't been able to guess, I haven't been able to predict what's going to happen, so everything that has been happening has been very surprising. I didn't expect the whole thing with the mist. I knew that there was something different there. I knew that there was something fuzzy, but I didn't expect it to be like, oh no, the mist could probably be linked to this deepness that was discussed at the start of the video. I wasn't expecting, like I mentioned earlier, Ellen to lose his throne. I generally thought that, you know, following cliches, he was going to win it back, and no, he didn't. I wasn't expecting the whole Vin fight, and I wasn't expecting Vin to get beaten up, just because, again, cliches that I've seen in other stories, and that obviously have not been shown in this one. So I'm very, very curious to see where it's going to head. I'm like almost at the less than 200 page mark, and I've heard that once, like 100 pages down, it starts to get like really action-packed, and I've also heard that the ending is completely unpredictable. So I'm very, very curious to see where that is heading. And yeah, that is my little update for now. I'll have a little wrap up at the end of this vlog. Tome Topples thing. I'll have a wrap up with my final thoughts about the books. Hopefully I finish both of them, but seeing it where it stands, it might not happen, but fingers crossed on that one. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next update. Good evening. It is 10:02 p.m. on November 27th, the 10th day of the Readathon, and I am proud to announce that I have finally finished The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. And oh my god. For those of you who have read this, you are aware of what goes down in the last 100 pages. It is grand and completely unpredictable. I couldn't predict it for that matter. It never occurred to me. It never occurred to me that we would have gotten a plot twist like that, and I am extremely, extremely excited for The Hero of Ages. I am excited to continue on and finally finish the trilogy, but that will take place obviously after I finish reading Illuminae. I can finally, since I finished The Well of Ascension, I can now move on to the second book that I had picked out for the Readathon. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to finish it during the Readathon because there's not that many days left in the Readathon. I'm a quick reader, but I'm not that quick, and I'm back in college tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be very busy, and I'm not going to be able to give Illuminae the attention and the time that it deserves. But even if the Readathon finishes, I know that I will finish the book, because it's one of the books that I told myself that I was going to finish before the year ended. Now, as far as Illuminae, I still haven't been able to pick it up. After I finish recording this, I will then sit down and start reading. If I can't tonight, then tomorrow's another day, and I'll probably continue tomorrow. In terms of, like, life updates, I went to go see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and oh my god. That movie was absolutely amazing. It blew, I think, any expectation that I had. And I was going into this movie, you know, a little bit hesitant, because it's the Harry Potter, like, it's the magical world, but it's not Harry Potter. And I think that's the first thing that we have to keep in mind whenever we go to whoever wishes to see this movie. The first thing that they have to keep in mind is that this is not Harry Potter. This is the Harry Potter universe, but this takes place before the Harry Potter movies, before the books, and this is a whole different cast of characters. These are adult wizards, and I think it's important for fans that are going to watch this movie to remember that. That is crucial, that is key, because if not, you're probably going to be disappointed. Since it's adult actors, obviously we don't have that childlike magic, that innocence in magic that we saw throughout the first couple of books and movies, but overall, at least to me, the magic was still there. The visuals were stunning, the cast of characters were quite funny, if I'm honest with you. Newt Scamander and Jacob were immediately my favorite, and they were just funny as heck. What they could pull off together was just hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. And yeah, overall I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, fantastic visuals. The magic is still there. The magic is obviously still there, and I'm very curious to see where this movie series goes from here. I have sort of an idea of how it's going to end, like the series as a whole, how it's going to end, because obviously part of it was revealed in the books, at least like the outcome was revealed in the Harry Potter books. So I have an idea how it's going to end, I just don't know what the in-between is. And hey, I watched the first movie, I'm obviously here for the ride, and let's see where this one goes. So I guess that's my update for today, my reading update. Like I said, finished The Well of Ascension, absolutely breathtaking. Was The Well of Ascension better than The Final Empire? To me, actually, no. The difference that I was able to see between these two books was that The Final Empire is action and politics, while The Well of Ascension is exclusively politics. There's action every now and then, but it's just like so strongly politics that the plot can be a little bit tedious at times. It can be a little bit slow. It's not that bad. Trust me, it's not that bad. It was enjoyable to me because I enjoy politics. But I could see it being a little bit tedious, a little bit too long at times, and there was like at least every now and then for like 0.2 seconds I would be like, can we get to the action, because we're building up to this, like, you know, climax, and I'm at the edge of my seat because we haven't gotten there yet. So I'm just like, can we get there please? My heart can't take this anymore. So yeah, but overall I will say that I enjoyed The Final Empire a little bit more. I think that as a first book, it is just so solid. And there's just like something about the plot and how it was handled there that made it a lot more enjoyable than The Well of Ascension, but by no means is The Well of Ascension a bad book. Not at all. It is very good. It is a solid second book. It hypes up the series for that third book and that finale. And I cannot wait to be able to sit down and read The Hero of Ages and see what will become of these characters, because it's been 2 books, it's been like 1,000 pages worth of material, and they have grown on me, all of them, even Vin, though I do have to admit that I had some issues with her. That is true, I did have some issues with Vin, but I'll discuss that some other time in a video just strictly dedicated to The Final Empire as a whole. So anyway, that ends my little update for now, and I guess I shall see you guys in the next update. Good morning. Today is November 29th, the 12th day of the Readathon, and first of all, I apologize if you hear any background noise, any humming of some sorts. There's a school bus parked near me, and whoever's inside has the bus on. Anywho, I am currently around page 65-ish, I know I'm in the 60s, of Illumine, and what can I say so far? First of all, it does move a lot quicker than The Well of Ascension, that being because Illumine is written to us and it's shown to us not in a traditional medium. It's not, you know, your traditional way of narrating a story. Illumine narrates its story through interviews and dossiers and files, you know, all that interesting stuff. So it moves a lot quicker. And it's just, it's a quicker read. It's easier to breeze through it. However, I will say that I'm not that confused about the story. Don't get me wrong, like, I understand the overall story. I understand overall what's going on. However, like, in detail, I have gotten just slightly confused. Maybe that's because I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, and there's probably terms and stuff that's being used that's just going over my head and I'm not understanding it. But so far I am enjoying it. I am enjoying the uniqueness to it. I think it's a refreshing, you know, it's a refreshing way to tell a story. It's different, surely, and it's so far it's very well done. The visuals are stunning. How the files look, the interview stuff. It even has sketches of what the ships look like. Come on. That is truly amazing. I'm so far loving how it's put together. That much I can say. So yeah, that's what I've made progress so far. Like I said in the last little vlog, I really don't think that Illumine is going to get finished before the Readathon ends. I mean, Illumine is like almost 600 pages. It's 599. Yeah. And so far, looking at how my week is, I mean, today's the 29th. I have like, what, one more day and then the Readathon ends. So Illumine is not getting finished. But anywho, I will still read it. I will still continue to read it even though the Readathon ended, and I'll probably make a separate video if you guys want to. If you guys still want to hear my thoughts in video about Illumine, then just, you know, drop a comment down below. If not, then you can just follow me on Goodreads, and I'll more than likely post something about it, either be it a progress report, be it a review. Something will go on Goodreads about Illuminae. So yeah, that's all I can say for now. See you guys in the next update. Good evening. The Tome Topples Readathon has finally come to an end, and thus it is time to wrap up the experience. Now, reading-wise, like I had mentioned previously, I managed to finish The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I won't repeat what I have already said, because I think I already clearly proved how much I enjoyed this book. And unfortunately, I did not manage to finish Illuminae. This is about how much I made it into Illuminae. I think it's almost at 200 pages, and this doesn't surprise me. It's something that I had already anticipated, so again, it doesn't surprise me. Like I had mentioned before, I'm going to still continue to read Illuminae because I do want to finish it, but just not in a video. As for the experience, I'm actually very grateful and very thankful that I managed to participate in this readathon. I didn't think that I was going to participate, and I was able to. Didn't finish all the challenges because I had set up to read 2 books, but hey, I participated and I managed to read one of the books at least and conquer 2 of the challenges, which was the read a book that's part of a series and read an adult book. So I did manage to do that, and I'm very, very grateful, and I enjoyed the entire experience. I enjoyed logging into Goodreads and seeing my updates that I would get from the various discussions that were formed throughout the different books that were read. I enjoyed logging into the Will of Ascension discussion every now and then and seeing what people had commented, what they thought about the book. So yeah, overall a very enjoyable experience. Overall I am, like I said, just very, very grateful. Will I ever participate in another readathon? If I have the time, and if I have the books that fit into the theme of the readathon, then I will most certainly be participating in another one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment down below. Thumbs the video up. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, then please hit subscribe. My links for my social medias will be in the description down below, as well as Michael's links. So, I guess that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Kitsune. Mischief managed.